Hello, 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 everybody. It is Elson 932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to do an in-depth recap of Ready to Love Detroit. Ooh, it was, I guess, a second chance mixer. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Still, we watched it live together on Friday, which is always a good time. Always a good time to watch it live together. And I hope that those of you who watched it on the replay, that the whole commercial break settings that I was able to put through there, that it could help you kind of like follow along with us. Okay. Let's see who's here. Hey, Sam. Glad to see you. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Won't be able to join for this. Okay. We'll see the next meetup, Sam, which is tomorrow for the interview of the CEO and founder of Vitiligo Bond Foundation Inc. Okay. Hey, cross country cruise her. Hey, Quay, the Canary Diamond. It just got in the car. Well, drive safely. Okay. I'm guessing you did a talk to text because that was some typos right there. Okay. Hey, Toya C. Glad to see y'all here. Okay. As I said, we're here for Detroit. I don't know. Watching this a second time around, I don't know how I feel about Detroit. They're going to give me some things, but I know I missed a lot of things watching it live. That's why I'm glad we do this recap after the fact. But let's get into it. Okay. These are our singles. These are every last one of our singles. Let me change these comments to tall so we are not hiding Mr. Xavier. There we go. Um, yeah. Detroit. Okay. 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 This is called a second chance mixer. We know that 4 people were already on the chopping block, and let me remind you who the 4 were. But Tommy said, they're not going home, not yet. There'll be a second chance mixer, and 6 more people will be joining them. Okay, these are the 4: Dominique, Emily, Richie, and Devon that were on the bottom that everybody picked the first time around, and Tommy gave us a little curveball saying y'all going home, and then he said not quite. Okay. Now when Tommy said 6 that night, I thought it was going to be 6 new singles that these 4 on the bottom were going to meet. I thought it was going to be new people we hadn't met before, kind of like how Ready to Love Philly did it to us, where the 2 on the bottom went to a second mixer, and if they were on the bottom again, they were heading home. But no, it was 6 more people from this mix. And I'm like, Tommy, just cut it in half and let's go. I mean, I didn't understand the reason for this. I wish it was new people, but hey, what do I know? Okay. So definitely we have more people going. So when Tommy announced that there were more people heading over to the second chance mixer, Chris and Donna were talking. And Chris asked Donna to spill the beans. What are the women talking about? Is he on the bottom? Tell me something. Chris was, tell me something. I got to know. Donna, like myself, did not find that attractive. I was feeling Chris. I was feeling Chris the first episode. I was like, okay, okay. But then that right there, I was like, no, 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 no more Chris. No more Chris. I wasn't feeling Chris after that. I said no. I need you to have the confidence in yourself. You don't need to know. And even if you needed to know, you could ask me that off camera. But it was not appealing to me. So Cardi tries to talk to Ashanti, and he again is tripping over his words. Cardi is again tripping over his words. Tanya C says, Chris said, tell me something good. Tell me that you like me. Yeah, that's what he wanted to know, that the ladies like him. Okay. Okay. That's what Chris wanted to hear. So as I said, Cardi and Ashanti, he's tripping over his words again, like he was doing with the other ladies. And she says, hey, stop talking about what has just happened. Tell me something about yourself. Tell me about yourself. And she noticed he's been awkward and things didn't quite flow. And he said, is he going to be the one going home? He don't know. He don't know what's going on. And Ashanti is just like, dude, can we talk about us, you or me? Ask me a question rather than talk about the experience. I'm with Ashanti. Come on now. Come on now, Cardi. Come on now. So we see Ed and Nicole. Y'all know how I feel about Ed and Nicole. Okay, y'all know how I feel about this. I feel like Nicole need to just create some distance with Ed because he clearly has created distance over the years from you. Okay, so they talk about how they met in undergrad. She wants to get to know him now, and she's wondering if he's been secretly in love with her as much as she has been in love with him. I'm like, girl, no, Nicole, you are sounding like you are thirsty in the desert. Girl, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment for you, Nicole, and I so want you to thrive here. Do not limit yourself to your undergrad crush that is Ed. Don't limit yourself, Nicole. I just it's super cringe. And I'm hoping this is the hope, y'all. And y'all know hope is a four-letter word. Okay. I am hoping that Nicole is open to the other men and she's not just going to be Ed, 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 Ed. I'm hoping some of the other dudes have a chance with Nicole because if she is just settled on Ed, it might be a wrap for her early on. I'm hoping. Nicole, please give me a sliver of hope that one of the other men have a chance and you're not just all about Ed. Because Ed has gone on with his life. Okay, she says she's never dated someone with kids. Ed has clearly gone on with his life, was living his best life. He's got kids. I need to know how many households these kids live in. Okay, I would like to know, but she's never dated anyone with kids, and he does want one more. And the way they chopped it up, it made it seem like Nicole does not have kids. That's the way they chopped it up. That's the way they made it look. So we don't know. We have not been told yet. But she does want to be a soccer mom, etc., etc., pack the lunches and everything. And I'm like, Nicole, I don't know if Ed is the dude for you because you'll be packing lunches for more than just the one you have with him. Okay. He said she was always the homie. I was like, Nicole, mayday, mayday, SOS. This ain't gonna work. She was always the homie. And now he sees her in a different light, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it, Ed. You had your chance with the young lady. You had the chance when you moved back to holler at her. Because she said, I didn't know you moved back. So you didn't even reach out to see, oh, what's Nicole doing? Anybody out here got Nicole's digits? Anybody out here know how I can get in touch with Nicole? I can see what she up to. You didn't even check for her apart from the show. So if the show didn't place you all together, would you have ever checked for Nicole? I don't know. But I don't believe him that it's a different light. When a man uses the word homie, that's where you stay. That's where you stay is the homie. I think I think Ed is going to keep Nicole as a vote. So he's looking forward to seeing her in a new light. Okay. Okay, Ed. I don't believe it. Then we see Xavier, Diamond, and Ashanti. Ashanti says she doesn't know how quickly she can open up to people here. It takes her a little bit of time. But hey, we're under the pressure cooker. So now for the second mixer, we got to pick 4 men and 4 women. Okay. Now, the low scorers for the ladies were Chris, Cardi, Bello, and Xavier. What's that? Yeah, the men picked Diamond, Christina, Shannon, Donna, and Ashanti. That's not all the ones who went. Okay, that's not all who went. Those were the ones who said, they were low marks. So who were actually sent to the mixer were Dominique, Emily, Richie, and Devon. They were already there, but the men sent were Cardi, Chris, and Xavier. Okay. I think the ladies didn't like how Chris asked that question. But Cardi, Chris, and Xavier were the men being sent to the second chance mixer. The ladies sent to the second chance mixer were Diamond, Christina, and Ashanti. And for y'all, I say Christina like that because of the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That is how she said Christina. Okay. But as Tommy said, who cuts off their whole name? She goes by Ina as well on the show. So we go to the actual mixer, this second chance mixer. Now, I will say this, Devon and Cardi, y'all came through. Y'all were looking great. Y'all were looking fresh, and Debonair. Okay, Carde and Devon. Carde got rid of that vest outfit. Great. Devon, you had the jacket matching the deep color of the buttons on the shirt. Yes, Devon, you came. Carde, as one of the ladies in my chat said on the live watch, maybe Carde spent all night undoing his braids. It looked better without the braids, Carde. It certainly looked better. I'm glad you didn't do a top knot. Okay. I'm glad you just did the lower ponytail, a lower bun. Okay. But definitely those two men came with it, or came better than before. Chris was well dressed. Yes. Xavier was well dressed. Yes. Richie, yes, he put on a jacket and whatnot. But to say most improved, Devon and Carde. Most improved. And Carde with the hair and the outfit. Devon with the outfit. Now, Chris asked Christina, how does she feel about being on the bottom? She said, yeah, she ain't one for being the bottom, and give a little chuckle. But she likes his effort in dressing. She loves how he smells. And she said she can identify Chris in a lineup if she just has to, go by the scent of the person. He has a signature scent. I said, okay, is that an actual cologne, Chris, or is this just pheromones that are calling to Christina? I would like to know. I would love to know what is exactly going on here. Okay. It seems like a lot. So Tommy does tell them to step it up or get sent home. Hey, K Sharp, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Tommy says, step it up or get sent home. Emily is on a mission to go hard or go home. Then we see Carde and Dominique. And he's talking about signs, okay? But she said she don't know much about all the other signs, but she do know about her sign. And he said he never got a fortune cookie that told him anything terrible. Now his hand is behind her on the couch, rubbing on her shoulder periodically, pulling her in closer. Y'all know the whole yawn and stretch and then kind of pull you in. Yeah, Carde is pulling that move. And she does tell him, and that's what I like with Dominique. She does affirm. Dominique says, I like your arm around me. I like how you're holding me. I said, okay, Dominique, we collecting votes and gemstones. So when asked if he's a little cray-cray, okay, Dominique asks, are you a little cray-cray? Carde says, we all a little cray-cray. Sir, that's not an answer. That tells me it's more than a little bit, more than a pinch, more than a dusting, okay? That is a way to deflect from the real answer. But Dominique said, hey, she loved these meat and potato talks. She loves having it with him. And she says she's a little cray-cray. And the trick is to find someone whose cray-cray loves your cray-cray. Now, y'all are sounding a little tick-tick-boom to me. Carde and Dominique, y'all are sounding tick-tick-boom. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, how combustible are these two going to be together? Now we see Richie and Ashanti. He says he cooks because cooking is a sign of showing love. And remember, Ashanti is a vegan chef. He says he does show off his cooking online. So I need, Richie, did you have cooking shows, online? Did you do those shorts and stuff showing people how to cook something really simple, really different? That was cool. I saw the two of them. Of course, he's a very youthful demeanor. Ashanti is one of the younger ones. I saw them click a little bit in the few words we heard them speak. And Ashanti does affirm that later. We see Xavier and Emily. He says that he's just busy with life, busy with a lot of things, and doesn't have a lot of time to really commit. So Emily is turned off by this. And I wonder, Emily, why? Because we heard Emily, when she was introducing herself, say she's always busy, busy, busy. Too busy with work, too busy with other things to really give relationships a try. So again, Emily, y'all, Emily is so turned off. She says, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And Xavier's like, yes, interrupt. Let's chat. Let's talk. She's like, yeah, but I got to go over there. I'd rather be over there rather than here with you. Okay. She cuts him off, and Xavier's like, what? Wait a minute. You actually cutting me off and leaving me? She's just like, yeah. Tipsy. She tip on her heels, and she walked right along. She's like, this ain't the one for me. This is not the one for me. Hey, Rosho, glad to see you. You're listening and working. Well, don't work too hard. Okay. Work a little hard, but not too hard. Okay? It's are you working hard or hardly working? Don't answer that. So the group gathers and they're talking about friends of the opposite sex. And Chris says, hey, his wife should be able to look at his female friend like she is a sister. And I totally understand that. I understand that sentiment, Chris, as the, sole lady amongst the group of friends. It certainly is interesting when they do date someone to navigate that and make sure that the girl knows their wife, their girlfriend knows it's non-threatening around here. It You got to do that as the female friend. You got to make sure that young lady. Now, if she a little tick tick boom and don't want to believe you, you step aside and let him handle his business. Okay. Now, Richie said he was raised by women and he has like 1,000 female friends. Yeah, that garnered the reaction that you expected. The women were like, "Oh, 1,000? Is that what we doing?" And then when the ladies reacted, he's like, "Let's not take every one of my words literally." Okay, Richie, I have a few questions, okay? I need to know, how are these ladies friends? How are they friends of yours? And do you think that repeat customers are your friends? Because y'all remember he's a tattoo artist, okay? He's a tattoo artist, and a great tattoo artist, he will have a lot of repeat clients. Does he become friends with his clients and that's how he's doing that? Or do you have friendship contracts? Shout out to Cynthia of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and with her friendship contract with Nene. I need to know, where do you keep these 1,000 friendship contracts, Richie? I need to know. Do you, all these 1,000 female friends? And here's the other thing I don't like, because later on we're gonna find out how that 1,000 count comes in again, and I don't like that count. I don't like that count. We see Devin and Christina, and she thinks Devin really stepped it up for the mixer. Okay, Devin and Christina. He thinks you really step up. Hey, D Brown, everybody's working late today. Okay. Thank you for taking a moment to comment. Okay, I won't tell anybody in the office that you took a moment. Okay. So I appreciate this about the Detroit ladies in this second chance mixer. They are actually telling the men when they're doing better. They're actually telling them, you look better, you smell better, your attitude is better. They're telling them right off the bat, you doing something right. And everybody appreciates this kind of commentary. It gives them a little more pep in their step. So Devin does think that she is dope, okay? And he said he thinks he is dope. And people need to see that he is dope. He's on a mission. He's on a mission to talk to most of the ladies. And I said, okay, Devin, did we put a battery in your back? Did we put a battery in your back? Oh, my word. So Dominique thinks that he is a whole new man. Everybody trying to take off next week? Yes, K-Sharp, that's why they're working. Yeah, I could see that. Then we see Cardi and Emily. She finds that he stood out, and I'm like, it's his braids. Okay, the lack of braids, Emily, is why he stood out. So she tells him that a bee is buzzing around him means he has great energy. I said, okay, is that what it means? Because there are lots of bees outside. I thought it just meant that they were attracted to the scent, or maybe he's covered in pollen. I don't know. But Emily tells him it's because of great energy. And he said, hey, then you should have lots of bees around you because you have great energy. Oh, Miss Emily was, I do declare, and gave him her hands to hold. And I was like, okay. Coming to my web, said the spider to the fly. Cardi, are you seeing yourself? You're falling. You're falling. Now, Tommy comes and talks to the ladies, okay? And these are what they say they like and don't like. Y'all, please remember, this is an edited, produced show. We're not seeing everything. We're not being told everything. And people are being curated in a way to tell us a story, okay? So anybody who's being curated as a villain, we will see them in a certain light. Anybody to be our darling, we will see in a certain light. This, as the beginning of all of my lives, this show does not encapsulate the entire personality of these folks who are on the dating show. Okay. Now, Dominique said, here's the likes. Dominique said she likes Cardi and Devin. Emily said she liked Cardi. Diamond said she liked Cardi and Devin. Christina says she liked Devin, and Ashanti says she likes Richie because they blended on the diet and lifestyle. Now, here's where I had a concern. When Diamond said, I'm not going to say he my man or nothing, but, I like Cardi. I was like, okay, okay. And Devin, we have future plans. We were the plays and all that stuff. We have future plans. And I was like, okay. Diamond, I'm kind of seeing how you end up on that do not date list. Sorry to say. Even in these little blurbs, I think you attach too quickly. This is what we're being shown. I don't know Diamond. I don't know if this is actually how she is. But again, this is how it sounded like to me. Hey, Tamika, great to have you here. Glad to see you. Okay. I'm thinking this may be why you on the do not date list, Diamond. You're jumping a little too quick. When you start saying, I ain't seen he's my man or nothing, you are. Just like we're going to hear Devin doing the same thing. Okay, not about her, but we're going to hear him. So Dominique says that Richie don't like. This is the don't like this. Dominique said Richie and Xavier. Diamond said Chris because they have not talked. And y'all put a pin in that, okay? Dominique is sitting right there when Diamond says she has not had a chance to talk to Chris. Put a pin in that. Now, Emily says Xavier. Christina says Xavier. Ashanti says Xavier. And Richie. And I was like, but I thought you blended well with him. Okay, Ashanti. Now, Xavier believes he is not the worst one out here. In the cast of men, he is not the worst. Out of 5, ain't no way he number 5. So the bottom 2 are announced. The bottom 2 men are announced. And these are the 2 men on the bottom 2. Xavier, and he's like, I know Tommy ain't right. I know Tommy got it wrong. Couldn't possibly be me. And Richie. Y'all, in this instance, between these 2 men at that second chance mixer, Richie was sent home. Richie was sent home. First man to be sent home. I'm glad it wasn't the first night. I'm glad he had a second chance. I'm glad everybody had a second chance, but he was sent home. Y'all, tomorrow, Wednesday at 5:05 EST, I am interviewing the founder and executive director of Vitiligo Bond Foundation, Inc. I was so, excited and intrigued to see Richie, who does have vitiligo, as you see him. And I was intrigued to be able to speak to him. But unfortunately, as, has gone around, Richie, passed away earlier this year in the springtime. And of course, we wish condolences to his family. And in order to have him be the catalyst for a conversation, I was like, we can have a conversation about vitiligo. And certainly I have a post on my community wall where you can post your questions for the founder and executive director for Vitiligo Bond Foundation, Inc. So you can ask her your questions about vitiligo, and it'll be there in the post. Okay. But that's tomorrow. So we can have a great discussion on this. Okay. But yes, these 2 men were on the bottom. Richie was sent home. Xavier was sent back into the wild. Xavier was sent back into the wild. So after that, the ladies were left to mingle again. We see Devin talking to Ashanti. He asked her to judge his looks. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how it looked to you. Okay. She was trying to tell me how you look. Tell me how you feel. Okay. Okay. And I was like, Devin, please tell me you were a little tipsy. Please tell me. Because that was very unattractive. It was very, very unattractive. Okay. She said she wants a man with confidence and doesn't need to be as pretty as she is. But he understood he didn't get the reaction he wanted. He said, maybe he'll take more time with her. I said, Devin is starting to sound like, okay, it's going to take, okay, it didn't happen now. It's going to take what, 5 more dates? Sir, you're not her type. Let it go. be polite as you can and let it go. But he has a healthy, self-esteem. Now we see Diamond and Cardi. She asked, what is he passionate about? And she does mention, he mentioned his daughter. So we know Cardi does have a daughter. He said family and thrills. That's what he likes. Diamond is like, hey, she's an attorney, and technically attorneys usually are risk adverse, and she is not drawn to him. But hey, she needs to go and meet more people. Next up, we see Diamond and Xavier. Diamond said, I'm going to be having my time with everybody before y'all decide who go home. So she says, she likes how secure Xavier is. And Xavier said, Diamond is good people. She's a good vibe, but no romantic connection. Now, here's the other thing. Diamond is having like a little strikeout like Devon. She's like, you may want to get my number, because we don't know how these things will happen. And y'all, he didn't ask for the number. He didn't take the number that we saw. Okay. And he didn't seem enthused at all. It's kind of like how Devon said, how do I look to you? It was like, you really should take my number. He don't want it. Xavier don't want it. Sorry, Diamond. Not at all. Then we wait and we see Dominique and Devon. I know y'all saw this with me. I know y'all saw it live with me when we watched it live. He tells her that, she's staying. She ain't got nothing to worry about. And the best part of his day is being there with her. He tells in the confessional that Dominique, that's his boo. Okay, that's his boo. So we give him titles, just like how Diamond was like, I ain't trying to say he my man or nothing. Here comes Devon saying Dominique is his boo. Now keep in mind, what did Christina tell us? Christina told us in her confessional, the Detroit men are territorial. And we are seeing this with Devon. At least that's my assessment. Christina told us the Detroit men are territorial. And we're going to see Devon try to claim his territory in this whole scene. He says, hey, Dominique is my boo. And he talks about her many qualities. Oh, she's this open emotionally. She's XYZ. Oh my gosh, he is lauding her. Now, she does ask for permission to get something off of his lip. Okay, she's reaching, but she says, may I? Do you mind? Okay, do you mind? And Evan says, you don't ever have to ask. Just go for it. I said, wait a minute. We're not alone here. There's a whole crew right here in your face too. So when she gets whatever it is, it reminds me of Boomerang with the eyelash scene. Whatever she got, whatever dusting she saw on his lip, he leans in for a kiss and she swerves him very delicately, very nicely, very graciously. He said he thought it was the right time. The chemistry was there, but it was a swing and a miss. And Dominique says, hey, I need to be on a proper date before you start attempting to kiss me. I said, you better tell him, you better teach him how to treat you. She said, you are not going to be through here getting what you want out of me. And we ain't even been on a proper date that you done financed. Not the show financed, but you done financed. Okay? Then we see Xavier, Devon, Ashanti, and Christina. And Christina says, Xavier asked her the awkward question about her age. She felt it was improper. That was at the first mixer. But she clears it up, cleans it up. And I said, did you clear it up and clean it up because he is there and you need his vote, Christina? Was this for real or are you just trying to stay on the show? Did you clear it up to be real, for everything to be real smooth? Or did you do it so that he don't vote to put you out tonight? What are your thoughts? Because I think she's trying to collect the votes. But hey, that's just me. We see Chris is sitting with Emily and Diamond walks up. And Emily's like, oh, Diamond's here to take my place. Okay, so Emily jumps up. I wonder if Emily wanted to end the conversation like she did with Xavier because she gave up her throne real quick. And I was like, oh, Emily, okay. And then Christina comes over and she is just sniffing. Oh, you smell that? Oh, that's Chris. And then she leans over. She tries to steal him away, first of all. And Diamond's like, yeah, could I have 2 minutes? Can I have 2 minutes? And Christina in her confessional is like, yeah, she could have 2 minutes because she might need it. She gonna need them 2 minutes. And then she's like, okay, I'm a move on, but not before she rubbed the back of Chris's bald head, leaned over to sniff just under his ear, and then her hand is, smoothing over his chest. Christina left an impression. Okay. Christina left an impression on Chris. And y'all, I'm going to tell you something about Chris afterwards. In the whole scene of with Emily, with Diamond, with Christina, and the next lady that's coming to interrupt, Dominique. Dominique walks up and just sits on the couch next to them and inserts herself. She changes the whole conversation. She's like, hey, I walked up and y'all ain't talking about nothing. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, could you give her 2 minutes? But hey, Diamond never asked Dominique for 2 minutes. So Dominique came and asking steak or fish. Chris picks fish. Glasses or contacts. Chris is like glasses all the time. Leather or suede. We never did hear that answer. Okay, Chris, Dominique, what was the answer to that question? We didn't get that answer. And then ass or titties. And he said ass all day. Okay, Chris. Okay. But you know what about Chris? I want to let you all know. Chris never stopped any of this. Chris never stopped anyone from interrupting. And I'm wondering why. Why did Chris not interrupt anyone? He was having a chat with Emily. We don't know what it was. Diamond walks up. Okay. Emily leaves. Diamond sits down. Christina walks up. Diamond is the one that tells Christina, can I have 2 minutes before, you come snatch him away? Dominique comes up. Chris at no point tell any of these ladies, no. Could you give me a minute? I'm going to come find you. I didn't hear that. Now, is it production? Is it editing? I was like, the ladies are just circling Chris and he is just sitting there basking it. The last man that did that, it didn't bode so well for him, Chris. The last man on Ready to Love that was just sitting on his throne and the women were just coming back and forth and sitting next to him and rotation wise, it didn't work out so well for him. But I would have loved to have seen Chris be the one to tell Christina, hey, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to come find you. Let me finish my conversation. Hey, Dominique, let me come find you. Let me finish my conversation with Diamond. I would have loved to have seen Chris take that kind of control of the moment. But that's just me, y'all. I can't tell Chris how to behave. It's probably been a year since this happened. Hey, can't say anything. But that's what I would have loved to have seen him, since he was a man in high demand. Now, Christina tells Devon that he needs to put more cologne on. I said, daggone it. She said, you smell clean and all. And Devon is about to tell her it's been a long day, sweetheart. We've been filming for probably 15, 16 hours at that point. It's been a long day. She said, you smell clean, but she's not getting the scent that Chris is still giving. Okay. And I'm like, Christina, this is not the time to be telling a man something bad about himself. Remember, the men have the power. They have the votes. You may have lost Devon's vote right there. Okay. You may have lost Devon's vote. So Tommy walks in and Tommy is like, hey, fellas, let's talk. Who do you like? Devon says he likes Dominique. I bet. Chris says he likes Christina and Diamond. Carde says he likes Dominique and Emily. Xavier says he likes Christina. I see, Christina, you made your way back into the good graces of Xavier. Now, who the men do not like? Devon says Ashanti. Chris says Ashanti. Carde says Diamond. And Xavier says Diamond. Now, the two ladies on the bottom were Diamond and Ashanti. Diamond and Ashanti were the bottom two ladies in this second chance mixer. Diamond says she didn't make connections, though she felt more at peace and maybe her person is not here. Ashanti says she's reserved until she feels comfortable. And Tommy says, Diamond, you are not ready to love. So Diamond was sent home. So this week, we had a gentleman and a lady sent home. Okay? So Richie and Diamond were sent home. Hey, Tessie Jewel, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. That was this week. And I guess this is less time because we kind of know these people a little bit more. We know their names. This is the full cast. And if you look down here, you'll see Diamond and Richie. They were sent home. I'll be doing that with the background, changing the lettering from red to black so you know that they have been eliminated from the show. They have been sent home and told they are not ready to love. We were not told who has the control for next week. Is it the men or is it the ladies? Or is Ready to Love doing something where every week it's going to be a man and a woman and we can knock this out the park real quick? We can knock this out the park real quick if we do a man and a woman being eliminated each time. But Tommy is having a roller skating party next this Friday. Y'all, the live watch is already, out there in the public, so you can put your notification on if you want to watch it live with us. I do believe it's 9 p.m. If it is changed to 8 because Bell Collective has their reunion. So it'll still be 9 p.m. And y'all, apparently, according to OWN, they're still going to put on Ready to Love while we at Thanksgiving that Friday night. Okay, they're still going to have the Friday after Thanksgiving. They have it posted that a Ready to Love new episode is still going to air that Friday after Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be here. I hope you are here as well. But as I said, I'm going to keep the cast here, and these two were sent home and not Ready to Love. And so you can still see the cast. Who is in red is still here and still Ready to Love. And who is sent home will have the black lettering for their names. I may change that. I may change the color. I don't know. But for right now, today is black. For today is black. Okay. But y'all, as I said, I will see you here Friday live for the live watch with us. And we will have the commercial breaks, of course. Then Friday, earlier than that, at 5:05 EST, is LSIT Unscripted, where we pick a year in music. Members usually know the year in music ahead of time. We have a good old time. We have trivia, and we talk about whatever the chat wants to talk about. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the CEO and founder of Vitiligo Bond. So please bring your questions about vitiligo in the chat, and also you can post them under the post on the community wall. Saturday, we're still doing maths. Sunday, we're doing unsolicited advice. And Monday, members, if you're not a member, I got to say you may miss out. We are going to start next week. I'm going to start watch parties with the members. Okay? The members and a member link I will be dropping so the members will know where to catch me outside. Okay? So we can do watch parties of either something on YouTube or something on Netflix. It will be basically a link to a party. And just like here, you'll be in the chat. I'll be on camera. And we're going to figure it out next week so we can start doing that probably twice a month. Maybe I do it one time for the general public, but definitely members, we're going to be doing it on a regular. Mainly YouTube and mainly things on Netflix because you have to have access to the streaming service that I'll be having the party room, going to. So you have to have your own access. That's how it avoids copyright infringement. So watch parties are coming up. shApp says, I hope to see more of Steven. Yes, I'll be there. I'm hoping we see more of Steven, but again, Steven was definitely there. Hey, just Rhonda01. Oh, you became a member again. Yes, thank you for renewing your membership. And if y'all can do, just Rhonda01, she covers your Married to Medicine, your Bell Collective, your Housewives, your Potomac, and all of them people. She covers all of them on her channel, and she is too covering Ready to Love. Okay, thank you so much. And we always like to say thank you around here. We always like to do a little shake and a jiggle. Okay, yes, thank you for becoming a member or renewing your membership. Okay, so that is about it. But as you said, shApp, Steven, yes, Steven, Stephen was saved. Stephen wasn't on the bottom. Whole lot of people wasn't on the bottom this week. So we will see roller skating party is on Friday. They're going to be roller skating. I like to see confident people roller skate. I know how to roller skate. My grandfather and I used to roller skate in the evenings, in the afternoons. I miss having my roller skates. I just don't have a roller rink around where I am, but I absolutely love roller skating. So I would love to see, I wonder, I need to look it up. Does Detroit have a certain kind of step in on the roller skating rink? I'd love to see who know the Detroit moves in that rink. We know Tommy don't know them, but I would love to see who got the Detroit moves. What are the rolling steps that Detroit has in that roller skating rink? But we see that Donna has a few. If y'all look on Instagram, Own has some exclusive content coming out and is out on Instagram where Donna and Ed have a conversation. Donna and Ed have a conversation. Ed said, I don't know about you, but me and mine, my house will be praising the Lord. My house, my wife, and my children will be praising the Lord. I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I don't know what you talking about, but I know what mine is going to be talking about. Ed and Donna, that was a little fire, little bit of spice conversation there. Because Donna says she's more spiritual. He said, what about me teaching my children about the Lord? She's like, you could do that, but I'm going to also teach them that ain't the only way. I was like, ooh, Ed, I don't think you're going to last. I don't think you're going to keep Donna. Not with those answers. And definitely, we do see that, who was it? Somebody was telling Darius that all the ladies think he's a little bit full of it. Somebody was telling Darius that the ladies, she ain't the only one that think that he is a little too much. Hey, allegedly, Arcane. Glad to see you. Glad to have you here. I didn't, definitely. I don't know about that. I don't know about Darius. Darius is like, I feel sorry for you prejudging me. Yeah, it's going to be fun rolling around. It's going to be fun seeing them all roll around there. But again, thank you all so much for being here. Next week, we will be doing this recap again for episode 3. As I said, members, we're going to be having watch parties. We're going to be having our watch parties. And I'm going to work this weekend on getting our first link so we could test this out. We could test our watch parties out. I'm excited about something on YouTube for us to look at and really get into it. Darius needs to get rid of the black powder. The black powder, is that what's staying in the silk pillowcases? Because you got to have silk pillowcases, right, K Sharp? Nosy Nurse Report says, I roller skate every Thursday night. Okay, where are you hailing out of, Nosy Nurse Report, that you roller skate every Thursday night? Where are you hailing out of? That is awesome. I don't even have skates anymore. I don't even have skates. I know how to change. I used to know how to change my wheels and everything. I don't have skates anymore. I mean, when we skated, we didn't do a whole bunch of tricks. Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati's in the house weekly on Thursdays. I wonder, do you do any competitions, Nosy Nurse Report? Do y'all have any little, competitions? Because you know what I love to see skating, y'all? You know what I love to see skating? I love to see couples skating. I love to see couples skating, couples who are dancing and skating. That I do love to see. I love to see people who are doing the steps for their region, because I know different places, different, they stepping and doing all kinds of different things, okay? For their region, what they do on the rink. Just Rhonda01 says, hey, she is Team Darius. She don't care what y'all doing. But again, Team Darius. We're gonna be on opposite times, things of this, I just won't call Peter on him, just Rhonda01, because I saw that wolf hanging over his throne. I ain't gonna call Peter on him, but I saw that. Okay, I saw that. I like a roller skate, but I need a walker for support. No, K Sharp, I'm gonna need you to sit with the kitties on the kitty. You know how You know how skiing they have the bunny slopes? Can we have the bunny area for the people at shApp that need the walker for support? We need a bunny area for them, okay? I I'm like, can we have an area because sometimes the folks at shApp venture out and they ain't ready. Now I will say shApp, I'm in your boat with ice skating. I'm not very good on ice skates. I can get it. I can get there, but I'm not very good on the ice skates. I can glide a little bit, but don't tell me to do anything faster than what I'm doing. Don't tell me to glide any faster. We are not going to be speed skating on the ice, okay? I ain't going to be speed skating on the ice. I'm going to be just slide and slide. Move this foot, left and right. That's it. If you want to go faster, go around me. No competition, but sometimes I go out of town for skate parties in different cities. Awesome, nosy nurse report. Hey, you're part of the skating community. We saw Love is Blind Denver that Edmund was part of the rollerblading community. He even went as far as the UK to be a part of their community. So definitely skating and stuff like that out there is definitely, a community. And if we're talking about Married at First Sight Austin, Josh, that is a community. Okay. The skating and going for competitions and stuff, that is a community. Not team sprayed edges. Your team Darius, if Darius sprays his edges, we don't know. We don't know. Darius is one of the more mature gentlemen. One of the more mature and distinguished gentlemen of the cast. Okay? Definitely. Hey, Naomi NYC, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Darius is one of the more mature and distinguished gentlemen. So I wonder. But I'm glad to see that everybody's going to be coming out and they're going to be skating. Well, some people have a harder time. Christina, some people have a harder time with the skates and have, one of the men is gracious enough to hold her by her waist to make sure she stays, away from the ground. And I believe it was Ed helping Christina, if I was not mistaken. I wonder, is Nicole looking from across the way? Looking at Ed, helping Christina? That's what I want to see, y'all. I want to see if Nicole is actually going to mingle with all these people or if she's going to be peeping what Ed doing at every turn. I see you over there with her. I see you went on a date with her. I see you ain't been texting me. I'm just inwardly cringing. I am hoping this is not the case, but I am cringing if it is. Woo, Nicole, you are definitely one of my faves, but I definitely would like you to ease up off of the Ed. Ease up off of Ed just a little bit. Okay, ease up off of him just a little bit. I like Nicole. I definitely like Shannon, and I like Emily. Y'all can get me for that if you want. I like Emily. Emily got my bad attitude that I had in my 20s. Or I should say the bad attitude we're seeing that's being curated. I had that attitude, that face, that you full of crap. Let me go over here. That's yeah. Mm-hmm. Nicole does have a misery vibe going on. Ooh, oh wait a minute. The misery, as in Stephen King's Misery, as in Kathy Bates' Misery. Daggone it. Not even an I Spy shApp. You went all the way to Misery. That is the nth degree. Okay. I'm wondering what's going to happen now that Xavier has been saved. Now that Xavier has been saved and Ashanti has been saved from elimination, are they going to do better? Are they going to be scrambling or are they going to do better? What are your thoughts on this? What is going to happen? Because that's what I love about Radio Love. When everybody comes back, the people who are on the bottom come back with a vengeance. Either they come back really, really wanting to talk to people, or they come back like, which one of you put me on the bottom? Which one of y'all? Was I on your bottom? Was I on your bottom? Who wrote my name? That is what people come back with, that kind of energy. And I feel like Ashanti got that energy. Ashanti may have that energy. Xavier too. Because we know we're coming up with a scene with Xavier in the future that says, this better be good because I'm petty. Y'all know we're coming up with Xavier. I don't know if he has a chip on his shoulder from being on the bottom. I mean, he said he ain't fifth. He ain't the last one, but he was daggone near close. He was number 4. Hey, Nestos, shackle shuffle walk of shame. Glad to see you. Happy Tuesday. Yes, definitely. Ashanti Bailey got saved last week. She really is not trying. I didn't think she was trying with the outfit either. If we must say so. Ashanti, I saw. You had your hair, your natural hair up in your ponytail. Cute. But you came dressed in all black like a ninja. Dressed in all black like the Omen. I said, Ashanti, are we here to mingle and meet a nice gentleman? Or are we here? I'm sorry, are we here to fight? Are we here to, you know, it was the turtleneck and the short leather skirt. She looked cute. She looked cute. She looked absolutely cute in it. But Ashanti came like she is kicking indoors and taking names. I said, ooh, I would love to see how she was most of the mixer. Okay. I was like, Ashanti, I was watching you. I would love to know what came into the thought of that outfit. Because she went from this very lovely purple with the side colors and everything. She had the lovely long hair. And Ashanti said, oh, let me put on this black and let me get in there. Again, y'all, I'm making fun. I'm making good, clean fun because many a time production has to approve their outfits. Okay. Production has to approve the outfits of the cast. So I'm wondering if this number was what was approved by production and could have made it set up to make Ashanti look like she was coming in there, kicking indoors, taking names. Okay. And another little side note, when Diamond walked up and Cardi said, oh yeah, I like your boots. Y'all, that had me cracking up. I said, Cardi, I hope you said you liked her dress as well before all of this and that was snipped out. But it's like, oh yeah, I like, because she said, oh, you look handsome, you look good. He's like, oh yeah, I like your boots. I said, no. Cardi, we know both of y'all done put each other on the friend zone at the first mixer. That's what it looked like. But this, I was like, too funny. But y'all, again, thank y'all for being here, members. Next week, we're going to test out having our watch parties. I'm going to be dropping the link in the member community wall. And for you to check out the watch party, the last member live gave you a lot more information and detail about it. I do have a member post about where the watch parties are going to be hosted. So I'm going to pick something and we're going to go into a watch party next week, probably a couple times for us to test out different platforms. You have to have access to that platform as well. So mainly it'll be YouTube because we can watch YouTube shows together. And we can also watch Netflix because many folks watch Love is Blind. So Netflix is there. But there's Hulu, there's other platforms, Disney Plus. I'm not going to be doing those so much because that's kind of niche unless there's absolutely something that the members are saying, hey, we need to watch this together and it's on this platform. Then maybe, but it'll be like an hour show. Or if we do a movie night, definitely we can do that together. So members, we will be doing watch parties together. I'll just drop the link, let you know what we're going to be watching, or if it's just a testing for us to test out the insides. Now, I'm going to invest in this platform so we can have our watch parties because you're already doing, a lot, being just a supportive member, and I really do appreciate it. So this is kind of like your ideas, and my thank you for the ideas, for being members, and for continuing to be here. But y'all, we are definitely, I'm going to sign out. Don't forget tomorrow, Wednesday, I am interviewing the founder and CEO of Vitiligo Bond Foundation, Inc. Bring your vitiligo questions. Friday, we are doing our unscripted where you lead the conversation. Tell me what we're going to talk about. And we are also going to be doing our live watch of Ready to Love Detroit. That is what we're going to be doing Friday. Then definitely on Saturday, we are still doing our Married at First Sight. Trey going to be coming through here. On Saturday, we're going to be doing our Married at First Sight at 5:05. And then, of course, we have our unsolicited advice. I may move that at noon, but I may leave it at 5 o'clock. It just depends. It just depends, okay? But y'all have a wonderful evening. It has been a blast as always. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.